All right, everyone. It's Friday again. Oh my goodness. I am having some challenges here. I am not home today, and this is a new laptop. So I'm connecting the internet, everything on the road, on the go, because I did not want to miss this opportunity here to talk to you guys. Let me see if I have. Yep, I can see myself here. Also, I totally forgot to post the link before. But anyways, every Friday, 7 a.m. I'll be is my commitment to be here and to talk a little bit more about answer your questions and talk about the things that I have done during the week. So I see there's one person live, which means it's working, right? So I'm gonna put my phone here. Just give me a second, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. And again, I'm not home today. I'm on the car. I'm on the road. Came to see a couple of friends. I'm actually in Utah, in Orem, Utah. And here it's 6 a.m. It's raining. I'm in the car. Um, in Texas is 7 a.m., but here is 6 a.m. And I got here last night around, I would say 12:30, 1 o'clock. And but I'm up, and then it's gonna be a great day. So let's just go ahead and do it. I I'm gonna assume that if you have a question, you can just drop you in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just gonna continue to talk. Let me. And before I start, first I want to kind of an apology. I Last week about this time Thursday, I think, or Friday, was my birthday, and I promised that I would. Uh, Not promised, but I announced that I was gonna launch my newsletter, and it was gonna be this week. I haven't had the opportunity yet to actually get to work on it, but it's coming. It's gonna be great. So bear with me. Give me a little slack, and then I'll be able to get it done. Second, I would love to read something here that made my week. And if you have questions, please drop on the chat so I can see. But if nobody has a question yet, I'm just gonna keep talking. Okay. I want to read something here that I received. I'm not gonna mention anybody's name for privacy, but it really made my day, and really it was very helpful for me because sometimes I do those posts and I'm not 100% sure if who's listening, if it's working. For some people, I know it works because I have done it to myself, and that's the reason why first. That's what reason why I teach, because I have done it myself. Second, I have taught other people to do, and they get positive results, and they do have good things coming out of it. They get interviews, they get job offers, they get internships, they get everything that they're looking for during this career search mode. So I know that works, and I just want to read a testimonial here that I received this week. Let me open here. Give me 1 second. It says, "Hi Davidson. I hope you are having an awesome day. Thank you so much for all the insight and information you're sharing. I had the opportunity to speak with a Microsoft recruiter yesterday. Sorry, my voice. It is for a technical solution role. I'll keep my fingers crossed in the hopes to make it to the next round. If not, you have provided plenty of content to make me better for my next time. This is my second time being contacted by a recruiter. Have a pleasant and positive day." So I think I started doing this a month ago, and I know this person is following me for about a month consistently, and she's probably reading the stuff and applying. and got contacted twice already by Microsoft recruiters and had one conversation. So it works, guys, and I appreciate this. Made my day, and testimonials like that. It's the reason why I'm the reason why I'm up right now. And then I'm trying to do this, and I'm going to continue to do so. So that's a little bit from this week. I I think because I haven't posted anything uh, about the meeting this week. That is, I don't see a lot of people here today. But what I'm gonna do, I'm going in the future. I'm going to reschedule ahead of time. So I just need to find a way that I can schedule, and it doesn't send right away to LinkedIn. I don't like that. Every time I schedule, it shoots a message to LinkedIn, uh, as if I were making a post. I just want to schedule the meetings, and then who wants to come can go to Davidson GPT, and then you can just come and join. Sorry, I see there is people live. So if you have a question, drop a question here, please, or don't be shy. Drop a question here, or you can send me a message directly on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is open. If you don't feel comfortable in dropping here. Uh, Otherwise, I'm gonna go back here on my weekly posts, and I'm gonna also talk about the posts I did this week. So here we go. That way I can break down a little bit more of my conversation. All right, so this week, yesterday I posted a like a carousel, like it has a Q&A breakdown from a day in the life of a BizApp tech seller. So those series, the reason why I created those series is to help people first to learn how to know the steps to land a job in tech, right? How to land a job in tech. Because I'm a Microsoft, of course, a Microsoft. If you can land a job at Microsoft in tech, you can probably land it. If you can learn how to get a job at Microsoft, the steps of the whole job search, you can probably get a job in, I would say, pretty much any other tech company, right? Because the techniques, the strategies, the principles are the same. They don't change. They don't change because of the company that you're applying for. Of course, some companies, they have specific requirements. They have specific culture. They have the same role in one company might have a different name and a different company. For example, let me see, a digital sales rep, DSR at Microsoft, and another another competitor or another tech sales company might be called SDR. So DSR, SDR. So there's it can have some differences, but the way to get into it, the way to hack into it is the same. So, but I also want to keep a balance and keep my promise that I want to talk a little bit more about the day to day of a tech seller. So how it is to be a tech seller at Microsoft, as is following me from the beginning, know that I am right now in paternity leave, and I have been for a little bit over 2 months, and I'm getting ready, preparing to actually go back this next month. Um, so I'm not actively working right now, but it'll be soon. And then it, it, it's it, the things that I'll talk about during this interview is just the day to day of what I usually do. So go back to the post I posted yesterday. It has about 12 questions. It was an interview that Kylie Reeve from Shortlist um, conducted a few weeks ago. And it has questions like, um, could you tell us a bit, your career background? So explain a little bit what it's like working for massive corporations such as Microsoft. Could you talk to us through a typical? Oh shoot! I just clicked here by accident. Let's go back here. Could you talk to us a typical day in a row? What trends are affecting Microsoft, and how does the sales teams adapt? How does Microsoft stand out from competitors? That's a good one. Have you had any challenges at Microsoft, and how did you overcome them? Many challenges. Uh, we're always challenged, right? And especially in sales. So, how important collaborations is within the sales process? What does the future of what does the future look like for Microsoft, and what opportunities will it bring? What are the challenges that non-profits face compared to other Microsoft uh, clients? So basically, I do sell for non-profits, and that's the industry that I serve. Does Microsoft offer any financial assistance for non-profits? Absolutely, we do, and they are actually amazing. If you're listening to this now or in the future, and if you do have a non-profit or someone that has a non-profit, you should definitely go to just Google, or now don't Google, Copilot. use use your Microsoft search engine, and find Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofits, and then you find a site and a place where you can actually register to be part of the Microsoft ecosystem, which will allow you to have access to discounted Microsoft solutions, and even free Microsoft solutions. So there's so much out there. There's training, resources, a huge community. In fact, one of the biggest communities that nonprofit communities uh, that you ever be part of, where Microsoft is building now. So it's amazing stuff. I would definitely highly, highly, highly recommend you to, no matter the size of your nonprofit, no matter how advanced your nonprofit is, I would highly recommend you to be part of. Are there any trends or technologies that are driving innovation within the nonprofit sector? Yes, I do answer. Wow, my voice today and my English is waking up still. What advice would you give to somebody who wants to work for Microsoft? And that's when I break down and talk about a little bit about what I'm trying to do now, right? On this series, and then being here today, for example, opening up 1 hour for Q&A, and just being present, finding ways to help. With that, and then the other post I did to talk about collaboration, and I say collaboration and communication are key for the success of any project. And it's not different here in the tech sales at Microsoft. Um, so we talk about the daily life of a tech seller, collaboration, communication. So when as you are preparing for interviews on your resume, you have to find stories, at least one, right, that incorporates collaboration. The how let's say a challenge that you faced with collaboration. Um, how did you solve it? Or communication? How did you develop collaboration, communication skills in past uh, job roles that you had? Right, that has to be clear, because it is one of the most important skills that you can have as a tech seller, and have to be very, very clear. In fact, it has to be clear on the on the resume, right? And how you communicate. So it's not about. I'm not talking about necessarily like how you speak or you know. As everybody can see, I have an accent. I'm originally from Brazil. I speak my native language is Portuguese. I do speak Spanish also, but it's not. And I say I know I here and there I mix up some words or say something wrong, whatever. It's not about that. No, no. Yes, that's important, but it's not about that. I'm talking about how, especially in sales, for example, the first stage of our sales process at Microsoft is called listen. It's listening. Listening, believe it or not, is communicating. It is one of the most important communication skills that you can have is listening. I Not many people know, but I'm also an adjunct teacher professor at the BYU Idaho, and I have been doing that for 4 years. In fact, we just started last week, so there's and Saturday morning is the Friday night. Saturday morning is when I correct the grades and students and everything, the work that they do. Anyways, one of the biggest piece of our class is about listening and about nonverbal communication. It's um, it's the class is about interpersonal communication. So listening is super important. Validation, asking questions. Um, on the corporate world, on the sales world, I think they like to talk about consultative selling. That's the word that we use. Consultative selling. It's about communication, right? And you gotta be very clear. That it needs to come up during the interview, and if it doesn't, you have to find a way to throw something that you have those two skills. So have that in mind. Some people might call self skill. It is a super hard skill to develop, and it's a super solid and important. It's foundational. It's hard. It's soft. It's whatever you want to call. It needs to be part of your life as a tech seller. Let me. I don't see. Let me see if I go back here to this program and see if I see any question. If I don't see any question, I'm gonna keep talking. I see there's two people here. At least say hi. Say where you're calling from. Um, what's maybe the reason why you're up early, or if you're like it's late for you, just so I have an idea. If you don't feel comfortable, it's fine. I don't wanna force anyone to type anything. I just wanna have an idea. Just have an idea if who is here today. And again, also for me, the most important is sharing those things because no matter if I'm if there is 150 or 100 people, sorry, because it's going to be recorded, it's going to be saved, and I'm going to be posting on the Davidson GPT, so other people might come later and listen to it on their own time, right? And that's what matters is that I'm sharing those things and it's going to be recorded. Um, Let me go back to LinkedIn and find another post that I did this week. Got some allergies going on as well. All right, so this is a good one. I posted about how to differentiate yourself from the other hundreds of competitors applying for the same tech role. How can you differentiate yourself for the hundreds of competitors applying for the same tech role? We all know how competitive it is to apply for companies like Google, Microsoft. mm, mm, You know, I'm talking about the big ones. Um, they call what? Mango, Amazon, Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix, uh, Google, always for what? I don't know. Oracle, I don't know. All those big companies, but those big tech companies, IBM, we all know this is competitive, and you have to find a way to differentiate yourself. One of the biggest ways is learning the technology, learn their technology. A lot of people, come to me and say, "Hey, Dave, so I don't have any tech background. I don't have any, uh, you know, technology mm, certification, right?" So go ahead and start, looking for those certifications and start studying, even if you don't have it. Let's say if you're studying, preparing for a to get an Azure, right, certification, which is the Microsoft cloud, right, Azure. Let's say if you don't have that, but you're studying for, you can put in your resume, you can put in your LinkedIn, say preparing for this and certification. Or let's say if you're getting an Amazon and the AWS certification, you can put in your resume. Um, if you don't have it, it's fine. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Being 100% clear and honest in how things work, right behind the curtain. Of course, the hiring managers and the you know, if you're coming from outside of Microsoft, the people from inside, the more you know of Microsoft solutions, the easier it will be for you to get an interview, right? The easier it will be for you to have a chance to display your skills. And why? Because it's going to be less training, right, for whoever's hiring you, and they're going to have more trust. If you think about the know, like, and trust buckets that I mentioned before, trust, if you have two or three certifications from Microsoft, the level of trust, it will be higher, right? Oh, Davison, you know, yeah, he's gonna be new, but he at least got two or three certifications, and he'll be okay, right? If in We know that he's gonna have to learn a bunch of other stuff, but he has proven himself that he can learn, and he knows has some basic foundational knowledge, and that's gonna give you a huge advantage. So it will set you apart during the interview process. It shows that you know, and then you're trying, and then you have the ability to learn. So, and I wrote down here that you can go to Microsoft Learn. Microsoft Learn is a hub that has all the free information that that internal employees like me can go and learn from, and any other person can go and have access for free. My clients can have access to it. Uh, my neighbors can have access to it. Um, my friends, my competitors, anybody can have access to Microsoft Learn, and there you have access to uh, product developers. Sometimes they post things. Um, if you dig, you find people's names. You can connect. Say, hey, I saw that you wrote this article, or hey, I saw that go on LinkedIn and say, hey, I just listened to one of your trainings on Microsoft Learn, or just saw one of your interviews or posts or whatever. Like, and this is what I learned from, and you know, I would love to connect with you and keep following you here on LinkedIn and learning more from you. See, this is how you network. Sometimes it's finding those uh, little entry doors instead of sending like a DM on LinkedIn and say like, oh, I see that you work for Microsoft and I'd love to connect with you, and I'm trying to get to I'm trying to transition to Microsoft. Like there's no meet, there's no connection, there's no doesn't show that you put any work, any if you like now. Let's do the other example. Hey Davison, I the last week I spent at least 5 hours on Microsoft Learn, and I saw that one of the articles that you were the writer, the editor. So I appreciate you putting some time. You're probably very busy at your role, but you also contributing to the community. Would love to follow you here and connect, and let me know if I can be of any help. And tell me which one is gonna get a reply, right? So as you go to Microsoft Learn, or or even better, let's say if you're talking to you're reaching out to a Microsoft employee, right? You're trying to connect, and then you can say, hey, the last 2 weeks I spent about 15 hours preparing for this Microsoft certification, and I'm taking a certification tomorrow. I saw in your LinkedIn profile that you actually have it. I I understand if you cannot reply or not. You're probably completely jammed and busy. But would you is that any last recommendation that you can give me that can give me an edge that can help me during this certification? Or can you think about anything else that I can do to better prepare for this next certification? Or would you be able to provide any additional resource that can help me? You can ask those things. I mean, you're gonna be uh, in sales, right? So you, you have to be comfortable of not comfortable with rejection. I don't like that much, but maybe that person's just busy. Like, let's say if they don't reply, maybe they're just busy. Some people expect to get an answer. Uh, all you gotta do what's right. You know, send a genuine connection request with some uh, differentiator, like I just described to you, uh, and then wait. Like you never know. You never know who's gonna reply to you. You never know when that person's gonna be like, "Oh wow," and then maybe that day she might be studying for a certification, and then be connected to you. They might be like, "Oh yeah, shoot, I remember when I was preparing for those certifications." It can be tricky, but this is one thing that I did. It might help Davidson, and then they might be able to reply. You never know. So don't get mad if people don't reply. I I have had dozens and dozens of people reaching out this past few weeks that I haven't been able to reply to it. It's impossible for me, and that's the reason why I'm doing this here. I said like a couple of weeks ago, I'm gonna dedicate 1 hour and I'm gonna answer questions and I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna talk about my posts and try to help in different ways because I cannot answer all the DMs, all the requests that I'm gaining it. That's the reason why I created this thing. So people are busy. Uh, Send it, pray for them, whatever. Send positive vibes, energy, and if they don't answer, just move on. Okay. But again, Microsoft Learn, you can you can find information to participate in hackathon in challenges. Um, you can prepare for exams. You can sign up for events. You can sign up for classes. You can get certifications. You can network. There's way uh, more things that you can do, and also I promised, and I will. I'll create. I just don't want to just toss information, but I want to create a really cool pager summary of things that you can do to get Microsoft certifications for free because there is a cost, and for some people, especially if you're outside of US, it can be costly. But there is a way that you can do for free, and I told people, hey, if you'd like to get that information, just drop certified hashtag here on the post. So I'm gonna be sending to those people who replied, and but also I can post here. It's nothing that I'm gonna be hiding from anyone. I just wanted to see who actually wanted, and I posted passing a certification here. Also, I talked about the BAM. The BAM is one of the ERG groups that we have at Microsoft. It's called Blacks at Microsoft. Here at Microsoft, we do have a lot of ERG groups. We have, which are employee resource groups, right? And I am part of the BAM, part of the OLA, which is the Hispanic group, and I'm also the families at Microsoft. Because even yesterday, they organized a really cool event on campus in Dallas. I wasn't able to go to, but it was that's one of the things that ERG groups do. They create events, and here's the kick to connect with job search. If you can participate, if you can just go, because usually those events are not only for Microsoft employees; they are open to the public. Here's what I would do if I were you. If you were trying to land a job at Microsoft, listen to this very carefully. This can save you hundreds of hours of sending resumes and things online, or trying to connect with people on LinkedIn. Find ERG events at your local Microsoft office, or I know we don't have offices in every single city, but if you can participate on those events, that's what I'm trying to say. If you can um, go because the people who are there, they are the people that like to give back. Uh, Most of the people that are there, they're the people who understand. They're open to conversations about Microsoft, open to conversations about their, their role, their position. For example, I'll give an example here how you can do that. So yesterday there was an event for Microsoft families. I can I don't know a whole lot of details, but I'm pretty sure they had booths with food and games and things for families, right? So you show up on one of those events, maybe one of your friends is part of Microsoft, and then you find out about it, or you see online. I think there is when I was researching to get into Microsoft, I think I went to can't remember the site name that has local events. I signed up to 3 or 4 of those. One of them was a technical presentation. You can go to any event, go show up there, listen to it, or go talk to the people. Say, hey, I'm just I'm just Davidson. I just heard about this event and I'm here to learn more about Microsoft. And I'm interested in eventually working for Microsoft. What do you do? Be interested in that person. Talk to them about what they do at Microsoft. It can be something completely different than what they want to do. It can be something completely unrelated to tech sales, but you had a one-on-one connection with a Microsoft employee. That's huge. And then you can say, "Hey, is that okay if I connect with you on LinkedIn?" And then you send an invite on LinkedIn, and then after you connect, I say, "Hey, thank you so much for giving me 10 minutes of your time. Yesterday was a great event. It's so cool that Microsoft put up those events where people can come and connect and talk and express themselves and build community. I would love to be a part of something like that. Um, and I'll just come follow you here. Don't ask for a job. Don't ask if they're hiring. Again, we're always hiring, guys. Microsoft is always hiring. If you go to the Microsoft jobs right now, there's hundreds of openings. Um, it's just a matter of are they hiring to the position that I want, and also is are they hiring to the location that I want? Am I a good match for this position? But we are always hiring. And sometimes, like if it says unless it's Microsoft hiring, never ask that question, um, because we are, and maybe if whoever you ask that question to, maybe that team, that person, maybe they're not hiring. And they're gonna say no, and then you're gonna be like, oh shoot, okay, Microsoft's not hiring. No, it's not true. Go online. you find out the Microsoft is hiring. Let me go here. Uh, so before I close here, ERG groups are awesome. I, if you are not part of Microsoft, highly recommending you to search event. Oh, here's another really cool strategy. Very very cool strategy. I even on the chat, I could put a key. On the post, I put it hashtag BAM. I don't know if BAM has a a they probably 100%. They probably have a community here on LinkedIn. So let me click here just for fun. I'm gonna click hashtag BAM. I want to see where it's gonna take me. There is 997 followers. But look at this. I'm gonna go down. There's my post tab because of hashtag, and then there's someone CEO of some really cool startup, and then there's Accenture. I just want to see if there's. So it's not the hashtag BAM is not necessarily connecting to the Microsoft ERG group, which is something that you should learn. But then you let's see. No. So most of the hashtag ban is not even connecting to, which is something we need to learn and better use hashtags on LinkedIn. When you hashtag something, sometimes it's not. Oh, British Academy of Management. Okay, Business School of London. Hey, there's no has no relation to the Microsoft BAM. So that's a funny thing. I'm just looking here for fun. But anyways, what you want to do is find uh, people who are on the BAM um, groups inside on LinkedIn. And when BAM does an event, we post here. We like to talk about it. We like for people to know about it. And then you're gonna see the people who likes that post. You're gonna see the people who organize that event. Oh my goodness! Those, and then you can say, "Wow, that looks like such a cool event at Microsoft. I would love to be part of that someday." And that's how you connect. That's a great way to connect with people. Follow the hashtags that people are dropping on their posts, and then you'll be able to find a way to connect and relate to those people, right? So here's the other. That's a really advanced networking tip here, how to connect with people on LinkedIn. The other post that I posted this week is have you ever had moments in your life? Now this was probably Saturday of last week, but because I do this GPT here every Friday, so have you ever had moments in your life that you feel so blessed that you even question if you deserve it or not? So I just posted a picture of my family. We currently live in Coppell, Texas. I feel so blessed. It's just every day I look at my home. We bought our home right before COVID, and it was literally a month before COVID, and it has been a huge blessing to our family. And every time I look at it, I'm I'm, I'm super grateful. The area, just grateful for my family, just feeling truly blessed, and and as you are looking for jobs, right? We're talking about jobs here, job search strategies. Showing an attitude of gratitude is one of the best things you can do. I know, I have been there multiple times, and it's easier. You can say Dave, since it's easier for you to say because you work at Microsoft now and you have a job. Give me a second. So you can say, yeah, Dave, since it's easier for you to say now. But no, hey, I have found myself in cars like this where I had my laptop open and I was literally knocking door, trying to make a sell, and It was 100 degrees weather here in Texas. When I moved to Texas, actually, when I moved to Texas, oddly enough, I did not have a full time job, and it was right after my MBA. Actually, not many people know that. And the funny thing is, I helped so many people get jobs during my MBA at Thunderbird. Helped so many people get jobs as a career coach, a strategist, get interviews, full time offers. I personally traveled the whole country, went to many headquarters, flew to many places for free. Companies just, you know, trying to get me interviews and stuff. And I ended up not getting an offer. Like, go figure. I was trying to transition to HR at that time. So I was only applying for HR specific job roles. And the only position in HR that I was applying to was HR leadership programs. There's only a few in the nation. And I applied to like all the 10, and then got interviewed by 6 of those. And did not end up not getting an offer. Anyways, what I'm trying to say that right after my MBA, I did not have a job, knocking doors. It was um it was mentally, it was so draining. It was so hard to be positive, to be grateful. But I made time to meditate, to be grateful, to set up my goals, to visualize the future, to be like, hey, someday I got one of those doors that I'm knocking. I'm gonna. I was talking about home, right? Leaving Coppell someday. It's just a matter of time. I'm gonna be with my family in one of those homes, and I'm gonna be with my family and walk in one of those parks where the dads and moms are playing right now, and I have to go work, right? I have to go hustle, but it's just part of the process. So I understand. Yeah, during the time that you're looking for something, it can be extremely hard to be. What can I say? To find a positive, or to feel grateful, but find those opportunities. Dig deep. I promise that you'll find uh, ways to show gratitude, and that creates a vibration. That creates, if you're religious, pray to your God. Um, whatever you need to do um, to show gratitude. If you don't believe in anything, just try to be grateful you know for anything. Seriously, sometimes in my family we have this tradition of every night before we go to bed, we have to say 3 grateful things for that day. We call them grateful things. And sometimes our kids are tired. Sometimes I'm tired, and sometimes I can come up with one or two, and I'm like falling asleep. But then I'm like, okay, dig deep, and then I find something. Even on the worst days, the great days, it's easy, right? But it's hard to find grateful things on not on the so good days. And my kids struggle sometimes, but they do find, even if it's the food that you ate or the bed that you're gonna go to sleep. Anyways, gratitude. Um, it's something that will accelerate. Let's just say that will boost your career search, and highly, highly recommended. So yeah, those are all the things I posted this week. I'm just scrolling here through LinkedIn certifications. Uh, if you want to, okay, there's one here that I didn't talk about it. Here's a 3 minutes. Oh yeah, so I gave a 3 minutes advice for someone who wants to work for Microsoft. So basically, what I'm trying to do this past month and a half, I just summarized in 3 minutes. So I highly recommend you to go there, listen to it, and I I think one thing that I talked about it, I could show here. I haven't done that before, so I don't want to try and mess it up here. But since we're getting close to an end, Let me see. No, never mind. I'm not gonna. I only have a one little screen here. It's gonna be tricky to show. But go back to it and the 3 minutes video snapshot of the full interview. And I'm gonna upload the full interview here. I think I have done already. It's about 15 minutes. And you can go back, you can go to my feature section, and there's a link for YouTube video that you can go to and listen. But I'm also gonna post here on LinkedIn so it stays on LinkedIn. This is it. This is all I have for today. I still have 10 minutes. This is what I'm planning to do for next week. For next week, I'm planning to officially get this newsletter uh, up and running. I already have all the content for the first newsletter. I'm just trying to use a software to organize it, and that's my learning curve that I'm falling a little bit behind, but I'm find a way, figure out a way to do it. So I'm gonna be sending the newsletter this week. I'm gonna be also putting together that one pager of how you can get Microsoft certifications for free, and I'm gonna be posting that sometime this week and sending to everyone who requested. Talking for 1 hour here, so it's early morning and got some allergies, so apologies here. But yes, I will be doing those things on the upcoming week. Today is already Friday. Um, I hope everyone a successful job search. There's another. If there's something that's working for you, please let me know. Like, you don't have to post here on LinkedIn. You don't have to give me a shout out on LinkedIn. I don't care. Just send me a DM. And just tell me, hey, Davidson, I applied one of those things that you taught me, and it was super super helpful. Or hey, I'm getting close to get an interview. Or this week, for example, one of the, I'm not gonna drop names again for privacy, but one of the guys who was following me here on LinkedIn and who likes my posts and comments, he reached out, we connected, and he's a perfect example, guys, of how this works. There's no there's no secret, but he's a secret. And I'm gonna use this last 5-10 minutes here to talk about it. I mentioned that I'm getting tons and tons of people trying to connect, right? Um, one of those the people who tried to connect with me made a really cool connection. I can actually, I'm gonna read. I'm not gonna mention the name, but I need to show you this. It's super cool. And okay, so here's the deal. I'll try to go back here for the beginning of our conversation. So he reached out. He reached out March 20th. Look, to me. Hey Dave, so I hope you're doing well. I wanted to add you to my professional network and learning for your success as well. Thank you. Okay, that was good. So good. Um, hey, hope you're doing well. I just want to add you to my network, learn from you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Very, very, nothing too much. Very soft. I connected with him. He does thumbs up, likes. And then I look at his profile and he's like, he works already for a competitor, but has all this Microsoft knowledge, has got his MBA and everything. I was like, oh, cool. You know, he's up to something here. And then I was like, I wonder what he wants. And then I say something like, hey, thanks, blah 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 blah. I hope you are well. How is blah 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 treating you? And then Davidson, thanks for the response. Everything good so far. How are things for you? So he's not asking anything, right? He's trying to build a report. He's trying to get to know me. I say, great. I'm always busy with Microsoft and personal projects, family, currently on the middle of paternity leave. And then he says, congratulations, you're the best dad. Okay. Very, nice compliment. And then let's see how many days after. So that stops. 5 days after, he says, good morning, Davidson. And then he kind of explains what I tried to teach you the other day. Like, tell a little bit of your journey, tell the work that you have done, and what you want, like what you're trying to get out of this networking connection, right? So hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for accepting my professional network invitation earlier. So basically, he got laid off, and so after I left Microsoft last year for a job elimination, that was impacted to my role. So he mentioned his role, the whole DSS team across North America. Now I'm interested to be back in the company where I was more than a decade successful and would like to ask for your help. I can kindly request your guidance on the best course of action, whether it formal introduction, a recommendation to a hiring manager, or any other preferred method. So you see how he's leaving very open. He's not saying like, "Oh, can you do this for me?" Like, I'm more than willing to speak with you anytime this week to chat on this possibility. I'll share my resume for your reference. Thank you in advance for your time and support. I look forward to the possibility. Do you see how he's giving an opening? The possibility of connecting and learning from you and a journey to be back at Microsoft. So he would be someone that we call Microsoft a boomerang, right? Someone who's kind of coming back. Unfortunately, he got laid off and want to come back. Has tons of certifications, ton of knowledge, ton of preparation already. He just unfortunately his team got closed, right? Perfect example of someone who's super qualified and highly qualified to be back, right? I mean, but do you see the process? It took like 2, 3 weeks for him to get to this point where he was actually asking for a meeting. And and if he can do this here super professionally and clean and crisp, for me, he's gonna be a great seller, right? He's gonna be a great. He knows how to do this stuff. He's showing here how he's connecting with me. So I made time for him. Right? So we connected. I had a 30-minute session with him. We talked. I gave him recommendations on his resume. Uh, try to learn exactly what he's looking for, and then we're still connected. We're going back and forth here on LinkedIn, and he sees my posts. He likes my posts. He participates, and then he sees the some posts that I like, and he saw one post that I know the hiring manager, and then he saw that I liked the post. He reached out to me about the role. I reached out to the hiring manager, and the hiring manager already is connected to him. Do you see how this works? Yeah, it took him a month on via LinkedIn connection to now be in front of a hiring manager who I know that it was my recommendation, and at a couple of months ago he was not even getting a reply or not even getting an opportunity to be in front of nobody, and now he has a possibility to actually being interviewed. So this is how it's gonna go, right? So my hiring manager is gonna talk to him potentially and be like, "Hey, I like you. Go ahead and apply online. Formality. So my recruiter officially have your resume. The system officially, so we can put you officially in our CRM, and then go from there. Sometimes the hiring manager already knows it wants to hire that person. It's just a matter of formality. It's gonna put him through the system of applying, but the job is done. He networked. So everyone, as I close here today, is the last minute. Network is 80% of the job search. The other 20% is applying online, The only 20% is the Pareto principle here. 80% focus on building connections, on networking, on being in front of people. The only 20% is applying, it's preparing for the interview. It's uh, doing all the other things, is using the tools, job search tools that you see popping up every single day. So I hope you have a wonderful um, uh, weekend. You see here I'm giving a live example of someone who connected with me about a month ago, month and a half ago, who's following this content, who's applying this information, who is a live example of someone who's now in front of a hiring manager. I shared another example of someone at the beginning of the call, also who sent me a DM who said, "Thank you. I have been in front of, been contacted twice by a Microsoft recruiter by applying the things you were teaching me." So things work. Just a matter of you going there, being patient, being grateful, and applying those things. Thank you so much. I love doing this. For me, it's a blessing to give back and try to build and help this community of future tech sellers or people who are trying to transition from another tech sales company already to Microsoft. And I will continue to do so and do my best to be here for you. So thank you and have a great weekend. And let me just go back here once more second to see if there is any other question here. I see a good morning from Kesha. I see here now, Kesha. Good morning and thanks for showing up here today. Let's connect on LinkedIn. And everyone have a wonderful uh, weekend. Thank you. Bye bye.